Two Rivers Talks is brought to you by Two Rivers Biz Starts. Also by Two Rivers Main Street. And by Raleigh Point Economic Advising. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello everybody, welcome to Two Rivers Talks, and I'm Todd, and this is my dear friend, Darla, and we are so glad you're able to join us today. Two Rivers Talks, if you've never been here before, is a show all about Two Rivers, the arts, entertainment, business, economy, all the pieces that you'd be interested in if you're from Two Rivers, or you used to be from Two Rivers, or you're thinking of moving back to Two Rivers, or you're thinking of moving here for the first time, or you're just passing through. There's like a lot of cases. But anyways, we're really glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. We've got a really exciting show lined up for you today, and we're going to be speaking with.
We'll be speaking with Stephanie Carpenter, who's the assistant director of the Hamilton Wood Type Museum.
And she just joined us just a little bit less than 1 year ago.
Right.
And we had a really fantastic interview. She hosted us over at the Hamilton Wood Type Museum.
Right.
And got to meet her boss. And there's been a lot of changes over at the museum.
Right.
So it would be really interesting to hear what the latest is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm excited to learn because I haven't heard any scuttlebutt. And I usually hear all the scuttlebutt.
I've heard neither scuttle nor butt.
That's good.
But we'll learn. Anyways, you'll get also the chance to enjoy our brand new segment, How's It Hangin'? How's it hanging? During which Darla will get us up to speed with what's new at the art gallery.
Right.
It's always fun.
And actually, we'll be looking at Stephanie's work.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
She's got some great pieces here.
She does.
And there's some other really interesting things you just showed me a few
Right.
minutes ago. So it'll be really cool to see what the latest acquisitions are that you've got. And then finally, we're also going to finish up with Mr. Roger Russo,
Right.
of the Main Street Minute fame. He's famous now.
He's famous.
Yeah. So it'll be a really good time. But on to more serious business.
Okay.
Word of the day.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I will take it away.
Take it away. Word of the day.
Okay. Todd, have you ever used the word Phobia in a sentence?
Why, no, Darla, I have not.
Well, guess what? You're going to have to today because I couldn't come up with a good quote. But anyway, Phobia, as he's thinking of how he's going to use this word in a sentence, it's spelled Turofobia, and it means an irrational or disproportionate fear of cheese.
Very nice.
I thought that was really weird. And just an FYI, Nerasophobia is the fear of cheese graters.
Where did you find this?
I pulled them out of thin air.
Nerasophobia. N-R-A-S-O-B-P-H-O-B-I-A. Really? Nerasophobia.
Right.
Wow. That's crazy cool.
And here, you know what's really weird?
Yeah.
Is that when I saw this word, I was like, somebody had to have made that up, so I did a Google search on it. I came across articles about people who actually have this fear of cheese. And this one girl, when she was little, somebody was slapping her in the face with the
cheese?
With the string cheese.
Oh.
And ever since then, she's afraid of cheese. She faints. So I just thought that was interesting.
Paralyzing fear of fermented milk.
Yeah. So,
yes, of course. I thank you for buying me a little bit of time. Did you ever watch there was a 90s cartoon called Pinky and the Brain?
Oh, I loved Pinky and the Brain.
Awesome cartoon. The brain was kind of like this evil genius mouse.
Right.
Who would always have these crazy plans to take over the world. So I can very much picture him saying in his Orson Welles voice, I'm not going to do an Orson Welles voice because I can't do imitation. But he would say, yes, Pinky, we're going to take over the world tonight by creating Turophobia in all the mice of the world.
Oh. That would have been a great episode, actually. But
then it would have affected down, which would have caused the downfall of his plan and out of the way. there would have been like this logical sequence of things that just didn't work because actually I have a theory about Pinky the brain.
What is it?
The Pinky is actually the genius, and the brain is the one who's insane.
The brain is
The
insane.
brain is insane, yes. Because he keeps doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, a different outcome.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, he just never learns.
And now these headlines in the news. I just wanted to say that.
Well, you're a broadcaster now, so.
Okay. Wow.
Kids from Wisconsin announces statewide auditions.
Auditions for.
Seeking serious performers. It's for kids from Wisconsin. Singers,
Oh, that's the thing.
dancers.
It's called Kids from
Wisconsin is a thing.
Okay.
And they're holding their auditions. They've been around for years and years and years. And in fact, City Council member Kurt Andrews, I believe, was a kid from Wisconsin or
Get
something,
right out of town.
or something super related.
So this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're seeking serious performers. All applicants will receive professional feedback at their auditions. The 36 finalists will receive room and board along with a weekly per diem. Singers, dancers, and instrumentalists who have a serious performing interest should apply online at www.kidsfromwisconsin.org. The 2020 Live in Living Color Tour will take the iconic troupe over 7,000 miles this season and reach over 120,000 fans.
That sounds amazing.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It really is. So if you are a young person and you like to perform and you're interested, go online and check it out. Or if you know of a younger person who is extremely talented, encourage them to apply. You can't go wrong with
Sounds
it.
like a great program.
Oh, absolutely.
Very nice. Another great program we have is a Pinecrest Christmas. So you can join the Manitowoc County Historical Society for a day of holiday traditions filled with Christmas cheer. I like Christmas cheer quite a lot, but I don't think they're talking about that kind.
No, but I know what you're talking about, and that's my favorite too.
There's a bartender down at Paws who actually has a drink she made called A Cup of Good Cheer.
Oh, really?
So good.
What's in it?
A lot of good cheer.
Like-
I think it's like bourbon and there's like a liqueur in there too. I can't remember.
Oh, really?
And bitters. Yeah. It's
Okay.
super nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not like a big drinker, but it's a very nice drink.
I've seen you at game night.
Well, that's game night.
Well, you
know.
yeah.
Anyways, bundle up for a holiday visit to Pinecrest Village and explore the season's traditions for a Pinecrest Christmas on December the 14th from noon until 3 p.m. If you go then, you can help decorate the tree. You can learn the art of printing while making your own holiday cards. You can decorate Christmas cookies, sip hot cider, and dance to live music. Probably not at the same time. While the kids visit Santa Claus, adults can shop for unique gifts at the museum store, and the admission is a mere $10 for adults, and even more mere $7 for children ages 5 to 17. And if you're under 4 years old, we will card you for that. You get in for free.
They don't even have cards.
Just pick up a card. It's fine.
I'm 4.
That's right. Hello, I'm 4.
And hundreds of Wisconsin National Guardsmen returning home. I thought this was
is a good
very
story.
cool.
Yeah.
The Wisconsin National Guard reports about 400 troops have returned to the U.S. after serving in Afghanistan. The first 200 troops, the 2nd Battalion, 127th Infantry Red Arrow, returned to Camp Douglas on Friday, this past Friday. Another 200 from this state are still in Texas. Guard leadership hasn't released an estimated date for their return to Wisconsin yet, but welcome home.
Welcome
and
home.
thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's great news. A lot of happy families.
Oh, this is perfect timing.
Next up, Operation Santa Paws aims to help the Lakeshore Humane Society. There's a new opportunity for giving to the animal community in the Lakeshore this year. Sea Hafer Broadcasting is helping to support the Lakeshore Humane Society with a donation drive known as Operation Santa Paws. I'm picturing like dramatic music to kind of go over. Anyways,
I'll see what I can do.
all right. The society normally has almost 200 cats in its shelter at a time. That's a lot. And the amount of cat litter they go through at the shelter is truly unbelievable. They have about 200 litter boxes.
Can you imagine?
That's an insane amount of kitty litter. Donations, of course, are going to help in the care of nearly 1,500 lost and homeless animals in Manitowoc County each year. You can contact Sea Hafer Broadcasting for more information.
Right.
We'll include a link to that down in the doobly-doo.
Right.
And so that'll, another good cause worth supporting.
Oh, absolutely. Now, this one was a little disconcerting. The NFL shuts down Packard games on the big screen at the Lakeshore Cinema.
Boo.
The second-run movie theater will no longer be allowed to show Packers games.
Boo.
After receiving notice from the NFL's legal counsel that the showings are in violation of copyright laws.
Boo. You stink, NFL. I've got nothing nice to say about you. Shame on you.
Say the owners, we are sorry to announce that we will no longer be able to show the Packer games.
Wow.
We have received notice from the NFL that under their copyright laws, we do not qualify to show their games even though we do not charge admission. We are saddened by this policy of the NFL as families enjoy bringing their children, and our regular patrons appreciated the relaxed and comfortable atmosphere. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. And I just wanted to say that the people who own the Lakeshore Cinema also, I believe they also own one up in like De Pere and a third in another city. I can't remember which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, remember how when we had Kevin Beam on from Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
And he kind of gave us the scoop that maybe we'd be able to do some tailgating over at Walsh Field.
Yeah, right.
That the Green Bay Packers did not have a problem with it. It was the NFL. They said our screen was too big. So I have a feeling the NFL was like, your screen's too big.
Hey NFL, you get the Scrooge Award this year.
Yeah.
You guys stink.
Coal in your stockings.
I hope your social media blows up.
Remind me never to get on your bad side.
I have a little bit of a bad side.
You have a little level of anger running through those.
It's just, a little of the ultra violence there. All right. Anyways, not a threat. I just hope your social media tanks. Anyways, in nicer news, I'm getting over it now. I'm getting good. The Herald Times reporter says that Motley Crue and Def Leppard are going to play Miller Park. Wow, that's kind of cool. Motley Crue, which last month announced it was coming out of retirement for one last big tour, has announced a big stadium tour that includes a show at Miller Park on August 18th, 2020. The tour, creatively named the Stadium Tour, also includes Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. That's going to be an amazing concert.
That I thought was really exciting. I like her.
Yeah, totally. That's like all out of my childhood. Those guys, yeah. Tickets go on sale December the 13th, so rather soon, at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. So hurry up and get there.
I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would be. Absolutely.
Now for city info.
Yeah, what's happening with the city council?
Well, guess what? They're going to be getting together.
What?
What?
Say it ain't so.
Yeah.
What a crazy random happenstance.
It's only scheduled for every first and third Monday of every month. But anyway.
Totally random.
It's totally random. The city council, their next meeting will be on Monday, December 16th at 6 p.m. And same bat time, same bat
channel.
same bat channel.
Like
right.
yes.
So third floor. Agenda will be posted online.
Very good. Also in the realm of crazy random happenstances in December, Breakfast with Santa, Sunday, December the 15th at 9:30 a.m. Good old St. Nick is going to be stopping by the TR Fire Department, and Santa arrives around 10:30 a.m. So bring your kids around 9:30. And children get in for $4, adults for $6.
Right. And it's going to be Uncle Pancake.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
going to be serving it.
Yeah. He's the guy that kind of flips the flapjacks at you. And
Right.
You get a sort of dodge them.
You have to dodge them.
What else is new?
Okay. Culver's is planned for downtown Two Rivers. If you haven't already heard,
It's all over Facebook.
it is. Plans are in the works for the city of Two Rivers to get a Culver's restaurant in the downtown area, specifically at the southwest corner of Washington and 22nd Street. So it would be right there in the intersection with Quick Trip and with Walgreens. And I
Yes.
think that would work out really nicely.
That's great. And just to make a quick public service announcement, I know Pam Morgan's building is there for American Family Insurance. She is moving. She is not going out of business.
Right.
She is not retiring. She is doing awesome work in the community, and I just wanted to acknowledge
Okay.
that if she sees this. So.
Okay.
So if any of your customers, so you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, she's still gonna be around, just in a different space.
Yep.
And of course, nothing is for certain until it's
Not cast in stone.
pretty
yet.
much done.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But anyway, if all goes well, construction on the new Culver's could begin in 2020. And meanwhile, Dollar General's newest store at 3022 Mishcot Road is now open, and I haven't stopped in yet, but I want to.
I haven't been there yet either, but it'll be nice to check it out. So our little city is growing. We're seeing a lot of changes.
You know, that was new construction. The hotel is new construction. The Culver's is going to be new construction. We hadn't had new construction in ages.
And some of these older buildings are going to be changing too.
Yeah.
You know, I know they're trying to work with some stuff with the Unimart down there and
Absolutely.
get that redone. And
Right.
yeah, so it's exciting times here in Two
A
Rivers.
lot going on.
Come by and check us out. But there's some other exciting news that I want to ask you about.
Okay.
You're going to be on the radio show again.
Right.
You're going back to playtime with Bill and Carrie.
Yes.
Very nice, very nice. When is this going to happen?
We're actually going to go down tomorrow, stay over, which is Saturday.
Okay.
We're staying overnight, but we're going to get together with Bill Turk tomorrow evening and his wife, who I have not met yet.
Oh, very
And
nice.
they're going to kind of show us the town a little bit. And
And-
then Sunday is the broadcast.
And the reason why you're on the broadcast again? It's so
We're-
cool.
We're going to be talking about, there's a very, very good potential. And again, nothing is for sure until all the T's are crossed and I's dotted.
Yep.
But if you're familiar with the actor Paul Michael Glazier, he is an artist, and he did a painting called Bookfish. And I've been talking to him, and I had met him through Bill Turk, about having it as a mural on our building here.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on the broadcast on Sunday, and then we're also going to be talking about art in the community and
So nice.
have a lot of data, and I'll report on that at a future date.
This is so major.
Oh yeah, this is very cool, and I love Paul Michael Glazier, and he's a really great artist.
If it's tickling the back of your brain, you say, Paul Michael Glazier, that sounds like a familiar name.
Right,
Well, if you've ever watched a little show called Starsky and Hutch,
right,
back late 70s, early 80s,
yeah,
and also Fiddler on the Roof,
right,
where he played Perchik.
yes.
Yes, right. See, I know my Fiddler on the Roof, Lord. Yeah, I mean, he's a great actor, had a long career in acting, but now he's doing art as well, and
Right,
so...
and he's an author.
And he's an author. Too.
Right.
So he's what they call a Renaissance man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool.
And he's good at all of it. He
Very
really
nice.
is. He was my elementary school crush,
Oh,
by the way.
Wow.
Well, Perchak. I mean, Fiddler on the Roof was
okay.
dynamite, you
Okay.
know. So, super excited. But and
That's
I will
great.
flash.
Whoa,
I will
hello.
put up
Family show.
a photo.
Oh, okay.
And I probably have already
Okay.
done it by now, so you've already seen Bookfish. That might be on a building downtown Two Rivers. Anyway,
Right.
and would you like to tell us about our upcoming interview with a particular someone?
Well, this is an exclusive.
Yes.
This is the first time we're really announcing this.
Right.
We are really excited to have been invited to go to Madison on January the 6th to interview in person none other than Governor Hoovers.
Right.
So really excited to do this. Never had an opportunity to. I mean, we've interviewed some other people in politics,
Right.
obviously, but never somebody so highly placed in government, and it'll be really interesting. Kind
Yeah.
of see what's on his mind and talk a little bit about Two Rivers with him and get his perspective on the rebirth of small towns like ours.
Right.
And the really cool things that are going on at this level in the state. I mean, obviously, there's great things that go on in Madison and Milwaukee and in Green Bay, but there's a whole lot of other really cool communities like ours across the state that are really trying to do good things. So we're pretty excited about that. And I guess we're going to also talk a little bit about his vision of a revamped WEDC, that's the Wisconsin Economic Development Council.
Yes.
Okay, committee, council. They're all about community economic revitalization, small business startups, focus on coastal communities.
Right.
That's us.
Right.
Right. And the value of art in the community.
Right.
That's you and all you're doing here. So it's going to be super fun and exciting.
I've already started getting my ducks in a row as far as some of the questions.
Yeah.
I want to be super prepared.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to be extremely redundant in all of my equipment that I use
That's a good idea.
to tape it,
right.
because I could.
You don't want to lose that footage, right?
Could you imagine?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
so CYA, and then and also, Todd and I have an upcoming interview with WCUB. We've been invited to be on their breakfast club.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, and that will happen after we return from Madison. So we'll have a lot to talk
Tell our
about.
story, right, absolutely. Moving on to some other news, just wanted to make a note, there's no event for Biz Starts in December,
Okay.
but we will be restarting the program again in January next year. Might be some changes to format, but we're still going to hold the majority of the meetings at the Wisconsin Public Library.
Okay.
So stay tuned for more scheduling on that if you're interested in seeing the upcoming year's meetings. Just check them out at Two Rivers Biz Starts website, tworiversbizstarts.com, or by going to the Facebook page.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And as far as the Leicester Public Library, the Senior Center, and Parks and Rec, just remember to visit explore2rivers.com for upcoming events. It really is a really good little website. I think that Pat McKenna of Mojo, I was calling my Mojo Daddy. What is it? It's Mojo Web?
Mojo Web Productions.
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Yes. Free
Yeah.
plug for Pat.
Yeah, he did a really good job on that, and but that's where you can find dates and times and the whole 9 yards. And also and here in just a minute, we're going to have How's It Hanging, and after that we will be interviewing Roger for a Main Street Minute. So don't go anywhere, stay where you're at, and let us entertain you. What?
Hi, I'm Stephanie Carpenter. I'm the Assistant Director at the Hamilton Woodtype and Printing Museum, and I'm also a letterpress printer in my own right. So I work at the museum because I really love the history and the hands-on nature that letterpress printing allows. And the work that I do really explores how we use language, how we talk to each other, and I really love to explore color. And so the work I have on display here in the gallery is a couple of my pieces from, it's called Kinship Patterns, and I made the work actually for a show that was at the Hamilton Museum earlier this year, and it was this conversation I wanted to have because my husband and I, David Carpenter, moved here 8 years ago from Indiana, and we found a lovely community that accepted us, and we felt really at home in the Two Rivers area. And so with this work, I wanted to explore how we talk about belonging, how we talk about family, how we talk a lot about being, kinship and coming together. And so that's what the work that's here on display is about. And it's all letterpress printed, so every letter is hand set and brought together. I mix all my inks. I really like exploring color. And I like this idea that we can talk about how we're all part of like one group and one community. I also have pieces on display that the more colorful ones that don't include letter forms are printed with a process where I actually bring piano rolls, like vintage pianos that have the scrolls where they play themselves. I bring those up to what's called type high. I hand ink every one, and then I print them through an old style press. And those pieces are one of a kind. I can't reproduce them. Like each one is a different piano scroll roll and a different color and a different layout. I quite like them because they start to look like landscapes, and they start to look like cityscapes, and they start to look like fields, and they start to look like Lake Michigan. And so that's what I really love about those, is they're more abstract than my letterpress work that kind of tells a story. And I think each person who views the art can kind of really see into it what they like. And so I really like being able to make both kinds of pieces because it tells a different story. So I mentioned my husband, and we really love showing here at the gallery because we're very different artists. So while I do printmaking, David Carpenter is my husband, and he's a painter, and he paints in oils, and he paints in a very, very traditional manner. And so he does still lives and figurative work, and the pieces that are on display here are some that are trompe-l'oeil style. So there's cupcakes and there's cannolis, and these things look like you could reach out and touch them, like you want to eat them. And so it's really nice because he can show kind of his more traditional figures as well as these like wonderful like still life pieces. And so we're really happy to help share kind of our process and what we do.
We are at that point of the show, that most exciting part of the show. I really do enjoy it quite a bit. When we have our good friend and guest, Mr. Roger Russo, Director of Two Rivers Main Street, on for the Main Street Minute. Welcome, Roger. Good to see you again.
Hey, great to see you too. I always look forward to coming here and doing this because I enjoy talking about what Main Street's doing, and it's always fun to sit around and chat with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, there's always something new going on at Main Street too. So.
Well, and there's always a little humor that goes on in our discussions too.
What?
I always leave here with a smile on my face.
Good.
And kind of shaking your head. And
Well, maybe a little bit of that. Maybe, oh geez, I gotta go have a beer.
Yeah.
Totally understand. So right before the show, you shared there was a couple of things you wanted to talk about. One was about shopping local first, shopping Two Rivers first.
Yes, we're doing a week-long promotion that will start December 16th and run through December 22nd. And it's a promotion where we're asking people to spend a minimum of $25 at 3 different participating Two Rivers businesses. Mm-hmm. Once they have done that, and passports will be available at any participating business, they'll need to leave their passport at the last business that they shopped at. And on Monday morning, December 23rd, I will pick up all the passports, and we will be drawing 3 winners for a total of $500 in Pool City cash.
Wow.
Sponsored by our wonderful supporters and partners at Shoreline Hometown Credit Union.
Very nice.
So we'll have a $250 prize, a $150 prize, and a $100 prize. And like I said, it's as simple as visit 3 participating businesses, spend a minimum of $25 at each one, which is pretty easy at the holidays, or just about any time for that matter. And then they'll initial and write an amount in on your passport, and leave your passport behind at the last one. And that Monday morning, I'll be chasing around and picking all the passports up, and we'll hold our drawings that afternoon and make announcements on probably on Facebook Live actually, as well as making phone calls. It should be fun. Hopefully it'll get some people shopping downtown and some businesses that they may not have been in before. And be a last shot in the arm for our local Two Rivers businesses before Christmas. It's on the 25th.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's exciting. I know there's a lot of great downtown shopping. I know my wife and I did a significant amount of shopping downtown this year. We participated in the
Shop Hometown Two
Shop
Rivers.
Hometown Two Rivers.
on Small
Sorry,
Business Saturday.
getting the names a little bit screwed up there. But
Yep,
yeah.
yeah. What was unfortunately kind of a so-so day weather-wise.
Yeah.
And then went from so-so to awful about an hour before the break started.
That's how good. But no, there were some prizes and giveaways, for that. Like you had to be called and then get there within 15 minutes. I'm still waiting for my call.
You owe him 2 phone calls.
No, it's 2.
One
I
for
figure
last
when it
year.
hits, it's gonna hit big. It's gonna be big.
Well, make sure you try again next year.
I will. I'll be there.
And hopefully someday
Yes.
you'll get that phone call.
He lives for it.
Oh, yes. Him and a lot of other people.
Well, somebody's got to win.
That's right.
That's right.
And why shouldn't it be?
Might as well
right?
be me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good enough, and nice enough, people like.
You are. But bribery goes a long ways too.
Oh.
And of course, I'm kidding about that.
we know. You're a straight shooter, Roger. So,
Yes.
So now, tell us a little bit about strategy.
Well, in the beginning of November, Aaron Motley from the Wisconsin Main Street office came up, and we held a strategic planning session for our current and incoming board of directors members. And basically what it was to try and figure out where we want to be as an organization 5 years from now. And this is something that frankly we haven't done often enough, and we were well overdue on it. And our goal of the process was to set 3 goals, or three overarching ideas for the organization to carry us forward through the next 5 years. And we accomplished our first goal. We got our 3 ideas. The first one is fostering entrepreneurship. And we talked a little bit about ways we can do this, but that's going to those blanks will get filled in later. We just wanted targets so that when our Main Street committees meet, they understand what the goals of the organization are, so they can work upward toward those goals. So the first one is to create a culture of entrepreneurship to help support new businesses and ideas. And we want to get more involved in entrepreneurial training and mentorship, which is something that we're going to be talking to Two Rivers BizStarts about, because from a mentorship standpoint, there's a great partnership there.
Yeah.
We also would like to, and our business growth committee talked about this at length at our last meeting. One of the things that we would like to do is find ways to help financially get these entrepreneurs get their feet on the ground. And so we talked about a new business startup assistance program where they would potentially receive a sum of money to help them cover their opening expenses and help support them in rent through the first period of times and things, so that they have a chance.
Yeah.
Because so many businesses fail early because they're undercapitalized and they run out of money and they go away.
Sure. So wait, you're going to give a business some money to help them with their expenses so that they can be successful for a favor to be named later?
The favor is to stay open.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
The favor is lasting success in downtown Two Rivers.
That's a great favor.
It is.
So.
It is. If not, and we don't have an overly high number of vacant properties right now, but if this helps fill them up with the right successful businesses faster, it's going to be better for everybody.
Yeah. No, I'm joking because it does seem like it's like, what's this, too good to be true? I'm getting money to help my business.
Yeah.
Like, well,
There's gotta be a catch.
There is a catch.
Yeah.
It's you got to be involved in the community, right?
Well, and yes, you're exactly right. Yeah, one of the things that was talked about was we expect them to give something back on an annual basis by volunteering for the Main Street program. That's how they'll, if you want to say, earn. Or start to earn the money they get.
Make their bones.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But again, the long-term goal is to find and foster successful businesses in downtown.
I love that. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. Oh, very nice. Very nice. And I'm excited about the Two Rivers BizStart opportunity for some greater partnership there. Yeah.
Yes, I think that what BizStarts has done already will do nothing but help us with that. And I think as we, as a Main Street organization, work to grow this more and work together with BizStarts, and in combination, frankly, with other things like the Lakeshore Idea Competition and Show of Hands, could tie into this down the road. I think that there's a lot of ways that we can get groups of different organizations together to work toward that goal.
That sounds entirely wonderful. No, very nice. Yeah. So what is number 3?
Number 3.
I knew he was ready for that.
I like how he snapped his paper when he.
Well, I had to look because I was ready for number 2. That was only number
well, that was
one.
only number 1.
Yeah.
See, I'm just kind of switching it up on you a little bit there.
Okay, number 3.
Okay.
Maximize outdoor activities and connections between downtown and recreation.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
So this will focus on making the community more bike and pedestrian friendly. I think I mentioned on the last show that we were awarded a community walk audit that will be performed by AARP here in town. We're not sure of timing yet. Usually they would do this in late spring, early summer, but we've had conversations about the possibility of having a larger event with the Wisconsin Downtown Action Council here in Two Rivers, which may prompt us doing that a little later in the year. But that'll focus on ways to make Two Rivers a safer and more enjoyable community to walk in for people of all ages.
I love that. That's great.
Yes, and along with that, there are things we can do, and we've talked for a while now about bike lanes on Washington Street and different ways that we can make Two Rivers a more bike-friendly community. But a lot of what we're going to do early on, while we're still exploring those ideas, is look into smaller ways that we can do this. And some of this may be wayfinding signage that says, a 5-minute bike ride from, 17th and Washington to the beach, or those types of things, so people understand distances on bikes.
Sure.
Because they don't understand miles necessarily as much as they understand time. And we may do the same thing from a pedestrian standpoint with 2,000 steps to this or 1,500 steps to that and things like that. So people can, the way they choose to travel, they can orient themselves to how long it takes or what the distance is between 2 points.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And I love the idea of the little wayfinding signs. Like we could do like a little Burma shave kind of thing. So you're almost there, a little further.
I like that idea.
Eat at Joe's.
Eat at Joe's. Yeah.
There you go. Wall Drug, of course, is another company that's
There we
made
go.
that famous.
Yes. Sorry, couldn't resist.
That's okay. That's your marketing background coming through. In that,
I guess so. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Burma shave.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Older than I look.
Okay, I'm going to move on to number 2 now. Before I say something that I might regret.
Yes, number 2, Roger. Please proceed.
Support and encourage property improvement and development, especially waterfront. And this is going to fall into a lot of different facets. We're going to focus on first floor vacancies in buildings. And we're going to focus on hopefully doing some planning of what we want in those buildings and getting the State Main Street office involved in more active recruitment of specific types of businesses. Code enforcement is going to be a part of this too, making sure that the building's appearance is what fits well in Two Rivers, I guess is as good a way to put it as anyways. And then our downtown buildings and by extension, buildings all over the city are maintained properly so that they look inviting to people that come in.
Those are great goals.
I think they are. Yeah. I think they are. And along with this, nobody wants to listen to me read all this stuff. But along with this are a series of targets. Activities for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Goals for the end of the 5 years, because it's hard to start something new and expect huge results after a year. You know, this is the idea behind doing this is a long-term plan to chart the future of Two Rivers Main Street.
That's great. So Two Rivers Main Street, 20 years from now, around the time when you're thinking of retiring, it's going to look like what?
Well, you know, funny you should bring that up, because one of the things, and I'm looking for the right piece of paper here. One of the things that we talked about in this meeting is a 20-year vision.
I love it.
For downtown Two Rivers, and by extension the community as a whole. And some of the things that came up: redevelop Thermo Fisher Center,
Sure.
public water access downtown. The Trestle Bridge is now a trail/park. The railroad bridge we were talking about out here.
Yeah.
Younger demographics in the community are increasing. Supportive customers, supportive residents that shop at our local businesses that the new entrepreneurs start. More bicycle and pedestrian amenities, something we talked about earlier. Downtown has expanded geographically. And a lot of that very well could be fueled by the Thermo Fisher property that you know, we have that space to the east, and we're seeing a fair amount of commercial development on Jefferson Street with Sepia Chapel and the Cobblestone Hotel and things like that.
The pizzeria.
Hazel's, and that corridor could become a second parallel block of downtown.
Sure.
And I think that would be great, because whatever happens there is something that can give people more reasons to stay downtown. And it can also foster investment in properties like, as it is known in Two Rivers, the Galecki building, which currently is part of the property, the parcel of St. John's Church, on the corner of 17th and Jefferson, across the street from the Washington House, for example. You know, and that building's in a great location now, but when something develops on the Thermo Fisher property, that location's going to be even better.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's super exciting stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to interviewing you 20 years from now.